But I think one of the things that we have to look at if you are in NFTs at the moment is Bitcoin ordinals, because there's absolutely no doubt that Bitcoin ordinals has become a thing that you can't ignore. And if anything, it's actually reviving interest in NFTs. And I think it's really interesting. So, what I want to start doing is every week when we look at what's trending, I do want to look at what's trending on ordinals as well. Because I think it's really, really something that's worth looking at. And the biggest one of this week with the biggest jump is Bitcoin frogs. And if we have a look over here, they're sitting at a 0.07 Bitcoin floor,
How much is
right?
that?
So that's substantial. I mean, Bitcoin's sitting at what 20,
29, right?
yeah, I'll call it
Seven?
30. So that's about $2,500. It's about one ETH.
Damn.
Yeah, back of cigarette pack math, but it's around about one ETH, sitting at a one ETH floor. And mint price was next to nothing, 0.00 something.
And it's
So that's
it's
really,
getting easier to use Bitcoin now. I think that's why people are getting excited.
yeah,
Now you can just get a normal wallet and buy it just like anything else. But
100%. I
right,
mean, you can just come onto Magic Eden over here, click on Bitcoin,
yeah,
connect wallet, and then set up one of these wallets over here.
yep,
Literally as easy as that.
yep.
Yeah, these are notable wallets. Expo seems to be the biggest one, but any of these three, a few click of the buttons, create your own phase. What's it? Your phrases. So it will give you like your 12 words that you write down. Yeah, and then you get a wallet address, and then you can transfer ETH or whatever currency you want onto your Bitcoin wallet, and you can buy and sell these on Magic Eden. You don't have to worry anymore.
What are the parameters, or not parameters? What are people buying and selling based off? Is everything the same as the all the other NFTs, just hype based on Twitter?
Yeah, yeah. So it's just basically watching what's trending or not. Obviously, initially, what you were interested in is the early inscriptions on Bitcoin, but we're now close to 10 million
Yeah,
inscriptions. I think we passed
yeah,
10 million inscriptions. So that doesn't matter with any new collection. You're just basically seeing vibes on Discord if they have a Discord vibe, which these guys do, vibes on Twitter. What was mint price? Is it trending up? What is the activity? Just basically, looking at it as anything would. Is the price going up or down?
hold on,
Speculating and then
hold on.
buying on that.
One
Remember,
second.
this is a 10,
Like someone just knocked my door. Let me just go check that.
no problem. This is a 10,000 supply. So to see it at this sort of floor is almost like we used to be on Ethereum NFTs as far as, mints out 10,000 collection, 10x's from full price. I think this is great. It's good to see. We're starting to see that Bitcoin is bringing us back in a way. And you can have a look here. There's consistent sales. They are slowing down. The last one was an hour ago, then a couple 3 hours ago. Um, but yeah, man, for me, good to see it. It's exciting to see that we've got volume coming back in the space. And if we look at some of these other ones, one that launched recently was Ordinal Heroes, that is literally almost just launched. They're sitting on a 0.007 floor. So that one's one to watch. Obviously, we've got the punks sitting at over 3 Bitcoin, um, and so on. So I would keep an eye on it. Again, just go to Magic Eden, select Bitcoin over here, and keep an eye. And every week, we're going to be showing you these. For those of you that joined late, just to let you know, from next week onwards, we're going to be starting on Saturdays the same time and not Fridays. We're going to be streaming every Saturday. So, yeah, everything good there, Kate?
Yeah, I was also going to say with the Bitcoin NFTs, they were also talking about this on the Nifty Morning Show and talking about the fact that there's no established projects yet. So we have not found the Bored Apes, we have not found the D Gods, we have not found the Pudgy Penguins guys. So Bitcoin Ordinals is definitely something to check out. I haven't checked it out yet. It's I'm kind of talking to myself right now because it's true. Like when they said it like that, I was like, wait a second, that's fucking true. Like you could buy
Yeah,
something for $300 and accidentally.
but we also haven't found the Bitcoin whatever, the ones that we all thought were going to a million that went to zero.
That's
So obviously also be careful on that side, but definitely. And it's brought that same excitement that we had in the beginning back, but we now experience in the space. And literally the only difference is the currency that you're using.
right.
So we're in a very like sort of beneficial situation where we can take advantage of this. So I have created a wallet, a Bitcoin wallet, and I am now what I've noticed is a lot of the whitelist places like you have Alphabot and all of those pre-mint, they now starting, and different discords, alpha discords, they're getting whitelists for Bitcoin ordinal NFTs now. So you need a wallet in order to register for those, and that seems to be where everything shifted. So I think that the big question becomes: is this a short-term sort of thing, or is it a long-term thing? Is this just the meta at the moment is Bitcoin ordinals, or is Bitcoin ordinals the next best thing?
Yeah.
And we're seeing now one thing that you can do is ordinals can be bridged. You can bridge your Ethereum NFTs to ordinals and vice versa. So in the beginning with ordinals, you couldn't have a smart contract layer. Now you can with the BRC721 token. So it's really interesting. It's interesting to see how quickly this is developing. Like we said, it would.
Yeah. Dude, I'm right now. I'm just kind of scrolling and wow, dude, just because I know that nothing is blown up to the point where we know something is established, it makes me way more interested in looking at some of this cartoon art and shit like this. Like I'm looking at these like Bitcoin maxis, floors 0.00083 Bitcoin. I don't know what that is, but I'm just looking at these. I'm like, these are so cool and like they're so cheap that like it makes you just want to like fucking throw a little bit of money and just say like, man, these are cute, bro. Like look at these Bitcoin bears. These are hella cute. What is 0.00?
Those are doing well. Oh, that's a different. So that's a derivative of the other Bitcoin bears. So that's good to see. Okay,
it's $150, bro. These are like $100. These are like the kind of NFTs I like to scour on the floor and kind of just take a gamble on.
It's worth doing, bro. It really is. You just need one of them to become the Doge Pound of Bitcoin or whatever, and 10x, 15x, 20x. I mean, they're definitely pumping at the moment for sure.
Oh shit! Nouns glasses, bro. They got good traits. Oh shit! Let's go, Bitcoin NFTs. Goddamn, these are fire. I think I'm gonna, bro. I might buy some of these, bro. These are sick.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, and what we're seeing now is you can now. So if you have your NFTs on Ethereum, you can move those existing NFTs over to Bitcoin. So I don't know if that's good or bad, because is that going to make the whole market saturated because now all our Ethereum NFTs are going to come over? Or is it going to be great to see some OG collections on there? I mean, we already saw guys like DeGods. Frank was early to get some earlier inscriptions.
That was a good move.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be, if you're an Ethereum project it's going to be a hard decision. Do you stay on ETH and stay loyal? Do you move over to Bitcoin, but then it all changes and it's not the meta anymore and you look like an idiot because you used to have the ETH support, but you've lost that? I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. But the mere fact that you can now move these over is quite incredible.
It is very interesting. I don't know how much that's going to matter. I can't tell. I don't know if that's something I would care about until other people made me feel like I need to care about it. Like I don't.
But I mean, if you had a 10,000 collection with the community, you got to be very careful. You don't want to upset that community. We spoke about it with Frank from DeGods. I mean, he's managed to pull it off to some degree without completely losing his support. He's actually done really well. But I mean, that's rare. I think in the most part, he ran a huge risk there of upsetting his core base on Solana, and also never being accepted by ETH. However, he was accepted by ETH, and Solana's forgiven him. So it's interesting to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
And just keeping with it, we're seeing that, Ordinals is definitely seeming to be like it's going to be the place for NFTs. Even when they just came out, Kate, I don't know if you remember, and you said to me, Philip, would you rather have a CryptoPunk on ETH or would you rather have one on Bitcoin? And I said to you, I don't know. I think possibly on Bitcoin. And you said, am I mad? Right? And I said to you, but hold on. Bitcoin is the OG. Bitcoin is the crypto. That's why we all here. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency. It is the only one that cannot be classified as a security down the road. So it's got very little risk. And you got your Bitcoin maxis now who really always hated Ethereum NFTs because they felt like they were sort of like a rip-off and they don't want to have anything to do with Ether or Solana or any of those. So, and now they've come to Bitcoin. And in the end of the day, you've got a huge support base on the OG cryptocurrency. And I'm feeling excited again, man. There's a bit of blood pumping through my veins here. So are we going to see Bitcoin become the NFT platform? We know they've already overtaken Solana as far as volume goes. Are they going to ever overtake Ethereum? That is the question, and it's going to be one that I'm watching closely. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, this was hard, bro. Like, it seems like everyone's adopting it. I mean, I've heard a lot of chat about Ordinals, and it like pretty much, yeah. That was tough. It sort of just depends on how many people. I think if people scroll, they'll get interested. Like right now, I'm interested in buying some of these. And I just scrolled a little bit just because I know that these
I
are
mean, I
actually
think
new.
it's important. They shit coins at the moment. What you're looking at is important just to say for everyone, right?
Was
You're
the
taking a gamble.
were those Bitcoin maxis? Were those also a like is 3.7 total volume good for that? Like I don't know what's good for volume. You know, like is this good for volume?
So you're just going to convert it back, right? You got to get used to converting it back, and so it doesn't sound like a huge amount to me. 3.7 Bitcoin is $100,000. So what's that? 50 ETH volume.
50 ETH in volume. That's
Yeah.
decent, I guess. Okay,
I mean, when were they launched?
I
You know,
just like this one.
it must have been pretty recent when they were launched. I mean, I typically usually used to wait for 1,000 ETH in volume before short to medium term investing, not trading like to flip, but to hold on to for a couple of weeks. I would wait for 1,000 ETH. So what's that? About 20 times where it is at the
Yep.
moment, maybe 50, 60 Bitcoin.
Right.
That's when I used to buy in and hold if there was still good volume. Um, but yeah, man, I'm watching this closely. I want to see whether this becomes the future of NFTs. You know, I
Bro.
like the fact that it's on Bitcoin. I like the fact that it's a Satoshi. But with that said, even with 10 million inscriptions, um, that's only equivalent to one Bitcoin because a Satoshi is 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. So it's not like the Bitcoin amount, the Satoshi itself holds any real value. I mean, all 10 million inscriptions doesn't equal or just equals one Bitcoin in total,
Mm.
just so that you're aware. So, I mean, it's not a huge amount. Got Janix saying, yeah, why is it called ordinals and not NFTs? Janix, I think like most people were saying, NFTs has got a negative stigma, and maybe they just wanted to move away from that. And that's what it's become called. That would be my guess, but I don't know for a fact. I don't know about you, Kate. Any ideas?
I do not know, dude. I never even thought to ask that question. It's a good question. Let me see if I can find that.
And we got Janix also saying, yeah, it's something about on older Satoshis, those being rarer. I have heard that. I've also heard that there's negative Satoshis somehow, negative inscriptions, which might, so minus in front of it. So instead of it being 10 million inscribed, it's minus 1,000, where something went wrong for a bit. And those are up to 60,000. So that might be a bit of a interesting
Yeah.
collectible one day, but it might not be. I mean, this is all speculation, and just because something's got some historical significance does not mean that it necessarily is going to hold value,
Yep.
right? And I think that that's important to realize as well. But we definitely see new blood. We're seeing Bitcoin guys coming into the space, trading these, enjoying it, finally being included in NFTs without feeling like they're cheating on Bitcoin. So it's good to see. It's
Yeah.
definitely good for the space overall.
It is. Sorry, hold on. Let me. I